Welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a great day as we go into the weekend. So this video, we're just going to talk a little bit about Zen promotion, the Zen crypto promotion. Now, this is old news, but many of you in the cryptocurrency space are probably familiar with Trevon James. Many of you all probably encountered him back in the day when BitConnect was a thing. And the thing about BitConnect, I never really attacked BitConnect, and I'm going to tell you why. I kind of grouped most cryptocurrency projects in with BitConnect at the time, although I wasn't a promoter of BitConnect. But I kind of looked at them all kind of similar, this kind of pyramid structure where most people are going to lose their money. So I all kind of saw the BitConnects as the same, right? Um, or many of these cryptocurrency projects. Um, so as of late, Trevon James, who had been this hex support, he still is because he still has hex as I understand it, but to kind of give some background to it or some backstory to it, uh, when Hex first came out and Richard Hart was kind of going on his promotional campaigns, right? He would meet with various crypto influencers, and Trevon James was one of them. Trevon James, he kind of gave the story about BitConnect, and how good a marketeer Trevon James was. I think Trevon was one of the number one BitConnect promoters, um, or one of the more successful. Uh, and so Richard Hart obviously could find great use in Trevon James uh, pulling some of his crowd into Hex, especially that he kind of had this entire narrative going about how Hex would take people who would normally fall for scams and convert them into a good project, right? And so, again, many about over 90% of the cryptocurrency projects, in my opinion, are BitConnect level projects. These aren't good projects. What the future is going to look like for cryptocurrency is the new head of the SEC, Gary Gensler. This guy's a great deal more hard nosed about going after crypto. He's even saying Ethereum is a security, right? Imagine that. In his mind, Ethereum is a security. So if Ethereum is a security, you best believe everything on Ethereum is going to, will be a security, right? Only thing he hasn't seemingly attacked is Bitcoin. So looking at it from that perspective, it's more unlikely you're going to already fall in the scope of a security, right? So that's why I lighten up on trying to color Trevon in that sense. Now, the problem I found with, I kind of took it as, I kind of saw it. I don't know how, I think I'm assuming Trevon James saw it as a slight when Richard Hart basically unfollowed him. And, what I'm starting to get out of the idea of Richard Hart is that he's a bit control freak as well, right? The ego with Richard Hart, I thought it was an act at first, but now I'm starting to feel like this maybe is who he is, right? And I don't get involved in drama a lot, in the cryptocurrency space. That's not really what we do here. I don't have an interest in it. But what I'm seeing and what I've always known is, as we've been around since 2018, a good project that we look at people who promote us as more like partners and associates and creating a good project. And there's no reason to get upset with you. You do what you want to do, right? But in this particular case, it just seems like a situation where Richard Hart saw where he could use Trevon James to promote Hex, which everybody got something out of the deal. If Trevon James had enough Hex, he got the value from Hex and so on and so forth. But what I really wish would happen, and this is not just, picking on Trevon James and many of these other YouTube content influencers who make these cryptocurrency projects work, which is why a lot of the heat was put on Jack Levin about coming in the Hex community, sticking his head in long enough just to kind of rob and steal the Hex you know, community to carry over to Zen, right? You do that, you don't have to pay for marketing. We have an affiliate program, right? And all our cryptocurrencies are free, and it's done in a way where it's not to be one of these like MLM scams, right? This is in the purest form of trying to create the most well distributed cryptocurrency the world has ever seen, right? And we do it with a very user friendly interface with great tokenomics. In the end, it's only going to be 5 million coins, about 4 times more deflationary than Bitcoin, running on chains that are free or almost free. And again, I'm starting to think Ethereum, the Ethereum narrative, using an inferior product like Ethereum, right? Think about how inefficient Ethereum is, right? Can you imagine going out and purchasing a vehicle, an expensive gas guzzling vehicle, right? When most people in America would get more use out of an efficient vehicle that is energy efficient, right? Cost effective. And that's what Ethereum is like, right? It's like people dumping their money into an inefficient machine. Why not just use low fee chains, right? Uh, like a lot of people are complaining about, we're saying, well, when Richard Hart launched Post Chain, right? The whole idea was making it appealing was there's going to be low fees, right? Ethereum 2.0 didn't achieve lower fees, right? But let's be realistic. All of this other stuff with the biggest airdrop in the world, where you're putting all these other developer projects on the chain that these developers aren't going to come over and work on and build up the value of this product, right? Really, what Post Chain is going to end up being more likely is just Richard Hart coins on there and providing a low fee structure for that community, right? If that's the case, why not just focus on that, right? And Post Chain could have launched a whole time, a long time ago. And I got some posts and things out, but look, I'm not really much like the Zen project and Post. These projects to me are like dead end projects. I'll get in, I'll make a little bit of money, but I don't really see a future for these projects other than them just going up high in value and then fizzling out to nothing. And that's not what I want to see. I want to see projects that carry real use to people, right? That's where real true value lies. And I think that's what Bitcoin MYK is. And if you guys take a look at it and use it, I'm very sure you will see in very little time how world changing it can be and will be, right? No doubt about it. Um, Takes a long time, but I have no doubt in my mind that that's what's going to occur with this project, right? What I'm saying is the value is in promoting good projects, right? I don't care how you want to flip it, look at it. Projects that have staying power and that are useful to people, right? I can't really do anything with Hex, right? You talk about the staking for 15, 20 years, and you can make the narrative that, oh, well, that's all Bitcoin does. But there's already a Bitcoin, and it's very successful, right? And it's probably not going to be replaced for another 100 years, So to make that, I don't, that to me, that's not really a strong argument. I think the better focus on what crypto in the now time can do for people on a use case basis. And I'm not going to go into a big detail about what Bitcoin MYK does because you can simply subscribe to the channel, and that's for another video. What we're talking about is content creators who make these products possible and known to us. Marketing costs a lot of money, and we don't. A lot of these projects don't starting out, especially, don't have the marketing budget. Marketing is expensive. So when they community hop and they usurp other people's communities, that that cuts some double time, right, to get these projects off and running, right? Obviously, right? And that's why the people were heated about with Jack Levine, and that's why it's important that people promote Zen who want to see it successful, whether it be Trevon James or other members of the Hex community. And there are some that have, but then there's that core big group that's staying away from it. Uh, the whole takeaway I'm trying to impart in this video is that promote good products with uh, good partnerships with people, right? You're involved with, where they don't unfollow you, where you're doing good to the world, where that's always going to be a lasting legacy of good productivity and making, good choices for the world, right? Uh, and you have to look at the projects to know what those are. And you can tell by how some of the founders act and creators act if that's a good project, right? If you're in some type of controlled environment, like what Trevon's, as I was watching some of his videos, he felt contained on what he can do. You can't. That's a problem we all have as content creators, right? You can't say anything bad about cryptocurrencies where your bags are at. I do, and I started my own, and I talk about the shortcomings of Bitcoin and MYK as well as the good things. But most people aren't going to do that, and so we're not going to get well established information that's things that could be harmful to us. We're not going to hear about those things because these people are trying to protect their bags, right? Can we have an information outlet where that's not what's happening, right? We might need a neutral media scoop on that to talk about the good projects, right? And not just the projects that are being pumped up and that you might have Ethereum whales just trying to keep this inefficient machine relevant, but a really good media outlet source to market these projects in a responsible way, and especially promote good ones, right? That help the environment, good ones that, and there's so many that I can name that help improve and decentralize artificial intelligence, like Singularity.net. There are tons and tons I could go on that you never hear about, right? And it's all because it's not people aren't paying for the marketing for them, right? Because it's so expensive. But what we are getting promoted is Ponzi schemes and unregistered securities and so on. So what we want to see happen is we want to see people like Trevon James promote good projects like Bitcoin MYK, not just Bitcoin MYK, but other projects, right? Where he can sit down with the founders and don't have to be unfollowed when he doesn't do what they want him to do, how they want him to do it, no matter if the project's going in the wrong direction or not. And so that would be my message to not just Trevon, but everybody else out there who's promoting these cryptocurrency projects, and even you guys who are buying these things, right? And then you come forward and you talk about, hey, why hasn't this project launched yet? I feel like I've been bamboozled. I feel like I've been scammed, right? Why is it so hard? Why is this guy spending all our money, it seems, and not doing anything, right? And whether that's the case or not, that's what the image seems to be with a lot of messages we find across social media. It is our personal responsibility to not be in those situations, whether you be content creator or buyer, be knowledgeable about your crypto, understand the direction of that project, who's involved, why they're doing what they're doing, and why they're doing it. Is it in line with what they're doing? If they're talking about giving away a free crypto project, you're giving away a project that's supposed to be free, but it's costing the people more to enter into the project than it would be just for them to buy the the cryptocurrency. That is oxymoronic. It's crazy, right? It's dumb. So ask the questions, right? Allow yourself to ask the questions. Um, you know, Allow yourself to take the time to study the project. It's important because it's your money. Take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes. If it's worth spending $100 on, $1,000 on, $10,000 on, $1,000,000 on, it's worth taking the time to understand the project. But that's all I want to say in this video. I hope that uh, means something to some of you all, and it drives you to an effective point to make better choices in what you promote and what you buy. That's all I want to say in this video. If you like content like this, don't forget to like, subscribe. Till next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.